Okay guys, I'm here for my review of the 1987 Starrcade. This was the first Starrcade that was not in Greensboro, North Carolina. It was in Chicago, Illinois because the NWA / Jim Crockett Promotions were trying to expand nationally. That had an interesting result because this aired on November 26, 1987. Which is the same day that the first Survivor Series aired. So Vince McMahon, what happened here was Vince McMahon told certain pay-per-view providers who were planning to carry Starrcade that if you don't carry Survivor Series, that he was not giving them WrestleMania, and a lot of them backed away from the NWA Starrcade and only went and carried Survivor Series, and that ultimately hurt this Starrcade's buy rate. Now, when WrestleMania 4 then rolled around, the NWA, to counteract what Vince had done to this Starrcade, actually ran the first Clash of the Champions on that same day on free TV on TBS, and that first Clash of the Champions, which by the way was main evented by a 45-minute draw between Ric Flair and Sting for the NWA Championship, did a higher rating than WrestleMania's buy rate did. And thus was the start of the competition between the NWA and WWE, although this is the final Starrcade to carry the NWA name, as it became WCW in 1988. So, as I said, this is November 26, 1987, from the UIC Pavilion in Chicago, Illinois. Our opening match is a six-man tag match. Sting, Michael Hayes, and Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, the Fabulous Freebirds, taking on Eddie Gilbert, Larry Zybsko, and Rick Steiner. This goes to a time limit draw. Very good match, 2.5 stars. Could have used a decisive finish, but time limit draw, 2.5 stars. Our next match is the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship match. Dr. Death Steve Williams taking on Barry Windham. Okay match, 1.5 stars. Steve Williams won after Barry Windham had gone over the top rope because he missed a crossbody, got back into the ring, and Steve Williams immediately rolled him up in an Oklahoma roll to win the match, which was contrary to something that Windham did earlier in the match, in which Windham actually let Steve Williams recover from something. So it's a small, subtle heel storytelling there. Next match is the Skywalkers match, or the Scaffold match. The Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express. This is a 2-star Scaffold match, better than the one last year. The Rock and Roll Express win, and that's all well and good. So next we get the NWA and Universal Wrestling Federation World Television Championship Unification match, because they were going to unify the NWA World Television Championship and the UWF Television Championship. So it's Nikita Koloff, the NWA Television Champion, taking on Terry Taylor, the UWF Television Champion, in a surprisingly decent match. It's not really bad. Probably one of Terry Taylor's best matches, which is saying something. But 2.5 stars, Nikita Koloff wins with the Russian sickle and becomes the Unified Television Champion. So our next match is the NWA World Tag Team Championship match. The Road Warriors challenging Tully, Blanchard, and Arn Anderson. This is a good match. This is 2 stars. Initially, the Road Warriors get a free count, but the decision is reversed because Tommy Young, the referee, who had been knocked outside, saw Hawk backdrop Arn Anderson over the top rope, or shoulder lift Arn Anderson over the top rope to the floor, and Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson win by disqualification because back in 1987, over the top rope was a DQ in the NWA. That rule stayed in effect until 1995. Long after most of the other companies had stopped doing that over the top rope rule. So, but yeah, 2 stars here. Not a bad match. So then we get a steel cage match for the NWA United States Championship. Lex Luger versus Dusty Rhodes, who had a stipulation that said he could not wrestle anywhere else for 90 days if he lost, and they wanted to sell it like it would be the end of his career. Not wrestling anywhere in 90 days is not the end of your career. It just means you can't wrestle for 90 days. That's the end of your career means you don't wrestle anywhere. It's not like it's basically if he lost, he would be suspended for 90 days. That's all that is. It's not a career-ending match. So, yeah. Anyway, this is actually a good match. It's 3 stars. Dusty Rhodes won, and he won really the only title in the NWA he had never won, which was the United States Championship from Lex Luger. It probably would have worked better if Luger had won, honestly. But Luger didn't. Dusty Rhodes won with a DDT on a chair and saved his career that was never in jeopardy. So, the main event. A steel cage match for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Ron Garvin, the NWA World Champion, versus Ric Flair. Another good match, 3 stars. This event actually has mostly 2, 2.5, and 3 star matches. There's only 1, 1.5 star match on here. So this is a very good show. This is a very good show. Even by today's standards. By today's standards, you would love to have a pay-per-view this good. So, but yeah. Ric Flair won and became the 5-time WCW champion here by defeating Ron Garvin, who would never again become the NWA World Champion. In fact, he never won a championship in the WWE when he went there in late '88. So, this was like I said, a good 3-star match with Flair winning. Probably not the outcome that should have happened, but NWA did not feel Ronnie Garvin was marketable. In fact, he only got the World Championship as a last resort because they wanted to take it off because Flair had lost it, and they didn't want the guy who he lost it to be the guy he beat to get it back. So Ronnie Garvin won the title and then lost it to Flair, thus becoming a transitional champion. Thus becoming a transitional champion like the Iron Sheik, Stan Stasiak, and all these people. Because Flair was a face there at some point or something or other. I don't really know all the history of that. I just know how this came about. So everything for this show will be in the description box down there. All the rating and all that stuff. Next video will be Starrcade 1988, which I have not watched yet, and I probably will not watch it until probably tomorrow. So that video will be up either tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, or Friday morning. But if you like the video, hit the like button down there, hit the subscribe button down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.